Today we are going to review how to conjugate and pronounce present tense IR and RE verbs in French. Last year we learned how to conjugate an IR verb. Our first step is to find the stem. Finir is an example of a present tense of an IR verb. We will conjugate the present tense by dropping the IR. So our stem is everything minus the IR, in this case, fin. So I'll write out the verb stem, fin, and then I'm going to add my endings. I don't know if you remember the song that we learned in class, but it went, and whenever we conjugate a verb, we need to write what it means in English as well. So the verb finir in English means to finish. This is the infinitive in English. It always has to in front. The song last year went, I-S-I-S-I-T, I-S-S-O-N-S, I-S-S-E-Z, I-S-S-E-N-T. So if you don't feel like singing I-S-I-S-I-T, I-S-S-O-N-S, I-S-S-E-Z, and I-S-S-E-N-T. These endings on the left are pronounced E. You don't hear the final S's or T's. So this is pronounced je finis, tu finis, il finit, elle finit, on finit. Over here, I do hear these endings. Nous finissons, vous finissez, il, elle finissent. This is not like ER verbs where you have the boot and you don't pronounce the endings. You do hear every ending in some form or another. Here you hear the I, and here you hear ils sont, isse, is. So one last time, and if you would like to pronounce it after me, I do think that that is a good idea. Finir, to finish. Je finis, tu finis, il finit, nous finissons, vous finissez, ils finissent. And I remember teaching last year this little snake to remember is, because it sounded to me like a French snake trying to hiss is. Ils finissent. Do you remember this video from last year? Oh, we can't see it. If you wanted to watch it, I will add the link for that as well. Maybe we can. Let's keep going. Here are examples of IR verbs. Choisir, to choose. Finir, to finish. Grandir, grossir, have to do with growing. Maigrir, to lose weight. Obéir, to obey. Punir, to punish. Réfléchir, to think about. Remplir, to fill. Réussir, to succeed. Rougir, to blush, to turn red. Vieillir, to grow old. These are just a few examples. There are lots of IR verbs out there. There are not as many as there are ER verbs, but IR verbs are the second biggest group of regular verbs. One last time: choisir, finir, grandir, grossir, maigrir, obéir, punir, réfléchir, remplir, réussir, rougir, vieillir. To conjugate these IR verbs, you would drop the IR and add your endings. You saw that ils sont, isse, is, those are long endings. You might have some pretty long present tense verbs with these words. We did a practice last year where you conjugated these. I'm going to go through them really quickly. So if I were conjugating the tu form of choisir, I would drop the IR and I would add is to the end, tu choisis. For the verb grandir, the vous form, I would drop the IR and I would add ISSEZ. Vous grandissez. The nous form of the verb grossir, I would drop the IR and I would add ISSONS. You can look and see what I'm talking about with a long example. Look at all of those S's. Don't be overwhelmed. You are just putting together parts of words you already know. Nous grossissons. Here are some of the other examples. Je maigrir, je maigris. Il plus punir, ils punissent. Je réfléchis, elle remplit. Nous finissons, il rougit. Vous vieillissez. Try saying it with me. Some of these are a bit of a mouthful. Tu choisis, vous grandissez, nous grossissons, je maigris, ils punissent, je réfléchis, Elle remplit. Nous finissons. Il rougit. Vous vieillissez. A reminder, these are present tense, so this means you choose, you are choosing. You all grow tall, you all are growing tall. We are gaining weight, we gain weight. It could be either one in English. I'm going to pause the video here and we'll continue with RE verbs next.